Ambassador Jānis Mažeiks, welcome to Radio Free Europe.
Thank you for having me.
The European Commission has recommended the conditional opening of accession negotiation for the Republic of Moldova, but after the country fulfills all 9 commitments submitted a year ago. The European partners, however, do not say when exactly the accession negotiation can start or should begin. Can we look at this decision as at a half full glass, or the glass is half empty?
No, I think by now the glass is more than half full. Because if we look at what the European Commission has decided to recommend to the Council to start accession negotiations. But basically the recommendation is very clear to start the negotiations. At the same time, there are still things that Republic of Moldova needs to do and things that do take time, like for instance the justice reform or cleaning up the corruption. But this is already, the timeline is there, and if the Council endorses these recommendation, then this negotiation framework would be adopted by March, or rather the Commission would give the recommendation in March next year.
If the country fulfilled the conditions?
Yes, because that's also there in the decision.
Can the European Council and the European leaders maybe to take a political decision in December and to say Moldova should start in December, for example, or starting with January next year, the accession negotiation, even if the country has a lot of work to do or has some work to do in the justice sector?
Well, the enlargement process is not just technical, it's clearly also political. But it is very good that the Republic of Moldova does have this reference point. It clearly says how much the Republic of Moldova has advanced in this slightly more than 1 year, not only on the 9 steps, but also on the acquis. Unlike the 9 steps where you had at least the time since June last year to work, on the acquis the time has been between February 2023 and realistically September. So it is just a matter of months, and the fact that there have been upgrades in so many negotiation chapters is quite impressive.
How much will count the political will of the European leaders and the European Council actually to open the accession negotiation with Moldova?
There certainly will be the political context, because let us remember that political context has been present from day zero of the process of Republic of Moldova's accession, because in January 2022 nobody was thinking about even applying for a candidate country status. But unfortunately the Russia's aggression against Ukraine changed the political picture, which led to the wish to support Ukraine and also to support the Republic of Moldova. So that's just one example that politics clearly is also part of the equation. There is this clear view from the European Commission where the Republic of Moldova has advanced, and the recommendation of the European Commission to start accession negotiations. What the leaders do from that point, that's of course going to happen behind closed doors.
What should Moldova and Moldovan authorities do until this meeting of the European leaders in December to ensure a political decision, a favorable one, to open the negotiation, the accession negotiations for the country?
I think first and foremost to continue working in all the areas that the Republic of Moldova has been working so far. So it's both about the 9 steps and also about acquis. Even those areas which the steps which have been deemed as completed, of course for us it is just the point of departure. To give you one example, the opinion of Venice Commission and oh dear. However, it doesn't mean that now the Republic of Moldova can stop listening to the Venice Commission or oh dear and their recommendations.
So, but what can the people of the Republic of Moldova do to have, for example, a good and a favorable decision in December this year? from the European Council?
It is primarily the government's job, and I'm encouraged by how much effort the government has put in the European integration. That's basically this positive view of the European Commission is a reflection of this big work. So for the people, I think what has been important is also important now, and that is the spirit of solidarity that you have expressed as a country, as a people, with your neighbors in Ukraine in their hour of need, both with assistance and with the hosting of 100,000 Ukrainian refugees. This is what is appreciated also by European leaders as well, because, well, the Țara mică cu inima mare, this is something that I have heard from more than one representative of top European officials, and this spirit of solidarity is a key value for the EU as well.
So it will be possible to start the negotiation in March or maybe earlier?
No, definitely not earlier than March, because that's the timeline that has been set out in the progress report. So first, in December, there would be the discussion of the heads of state and government in middle of December on whether to endorse the recommendations of the Commission to start negotiations.
And can take years.
Yes, that can take years, and this is something that needs to be taken into account, that it always takes years. So even if there is maximum mobilization from the country, you cannot expect that you would manage to conclude the accession negotiation, let's say, in 6 months, because that's how it doesn't happen. It's really negotiations of Moldovan representatives, hopefully, and the European Commission, who would have discussion on each of the chapters, screening the Moldovan legislation, how much it meets the EU acquis, and then going forward step by step. And of course, that will depend on the political will on this side, namely whether this commitment that we have seen so strong in the past 2 years, whether that will be present also in the future. And I, of course, hope that it will.
At this moment, how real does seem that the integration of the Republic of Moldova in the EU can be possible, I don't know, in 7 years, how the authorities of Moldova are hoping?
Well, this depends on this point which I just referred to, on how strong the political will be. Because if you look at the calendar, it is clearly the 7 years is beyond the current mandate of the president, the current mandate of the parliament, and as a consequence also the mandate of the current government. So which means that for this European path to continue, it will be very important for the citizens of Republic of Moldova to endorse that path also in the subsequent elections.
Speaking about elections, in Moldova took place the general local elections. Political representatives from a party, șansa, they were blocked by the government to take part of this election because the government said that this political party is financed by Russia. And I want to ask you, what is your opinion and the opinion of the European Union on this decision of the Moldovan authorities?
Well, first, we had seen worrying signs already for months that there was outside interference in the electoral process, and these signs were also quite public. We have seen the people being stopped with cash, with banking cards, the intercept of conversations of one of the political party leaders with Ilan Short. So it was clear that there are attempts to interfere with the elections in the Republic of Moldova. At the same time, we saw a clear commitment from the Moldovan law enforcement agencies to counter these, because we saw that there were the intercepts, that there were searches in the premises of those who were suspected in using the illicit funds, but it was also clear that not all of that money could be stopped, because there are so many ways how to do that. So one of the things also what we saw in this particular case was that there was also clear information provided by the state authorities. What has been deficient is the way how this decision was taken, because there was reliance on the Emergency Powers Commission, and the decision was taken just 2 days before elections. What is important now is for the authorities to have a look at the legislative framework and to see how this could have been done differently, and also keeping in mind that there are more elections coming in next year and 2 years from now, so that there is more legal predictability, and that there is no need to use these emergency mechanisms.
So, how will reflect this decision of the Moldovan authorities made with the emergency instrument will affect the European opinion, for example, on the democracy in the Republic of Moldova?
Well, this is not a decision that would have been easy to understand, because this was an extraordinary situation, and extraordinary measures had been taken. And that's why it's also important that the Moldovan authorities explain this also to the European public or European leaders, the ones who will be taking the decision in December on the context. And it's also no accident that one of the points that the European Commission was highlighting in its recommendations was also on strengthening the anti-money laundering legislation.
Ambassador Mažeiks, you told me before in this interview that the choice of people of the Republic of Moldova will count for the next political class in Moldova, and if this political class will have an European point of view on the future of the Republic of Moldova. But how important are the local election and the results of the local election for this European path of the Republic of Moldova, if they are important?
Well, what is important that the local elections have taken place, and the international observers have recognized that they have been conducted in orderly fashion, and the fact that there is quite a strong diversity in among the local municipalities who has been elected, what parties have been elected. So it is important to continue working on eliminating the influence from outside on the electoral process, and to eliminate the vote buying and also vote selling, because this is one of the things which is difficult to explain to the outside, why people would sell their democratic rights for a small sum. Of course, we are also always trying to explain that, well, Moldova is a poor country, but that doesn't explain why one would give up your democratic right.